Writer health. It matters. Self-care. For writers, it might be argued that when it comes to our chosen art form, there is actually very little in the way of choice. For some, writing can also be a form of self-care. It isn't that we can't put down the pen, rather, we know that if we do, there will be a significant hole in our lives, one so big we make our creative pursuit of greater priority than things like watching TV, though sometimes we do that too, surfing the internet for no particular reason other than distraction, well, guilty sometimes, or doing things like washing our hair. Dry shampoo works wonders. Hustle and grind. It could also be said the pleasure from doing our art outweighs all those other interests, sometimes to our detriment, so we write and publish and promote and sometimes forget things like eating, drinking, exercising, connecting with the outside world. For writers who are compelled, those on a deadline, those participating in NaNoWriMo, a fun and intense month-long writing adventure during which the goal is to complete a rough draft, the time in front of the computer can be long. Confession, I haven't gotten dressed in weeks. Kidding. I have, sort of. But my yoga pants are putting in a lot of stationary miles, and that's okay, mostly, but there are times when I find my attention to my hair care lacking, my mind distracted, I'm still trying to figure out that scene, and my shoulders hunched and aching along with my butt, elbows, and eyelids. Does this sound familiar? If you're driven by your craft, staying up late, getting up early, forgetting what day it is, I have some tips to help you take care of your instrument, you. Tips to keep yourself in top form. Here are a few obvious tips to keep ourselves in top, butt-kicking art-making form. Yes, they may be obvious, but the world needs you and the beautiful, moving, powerful books you write, and it's up to you to take good care of yourself in the process. Tie a string around your finger, set a phone alert, ask your neighbor to bang on the wall every other hour. Do what you have to do so you don't forget to come up for air and look after yourself. Food. It can go one of two ways. We're so invested in what we're doing, we can forget to eat and hydrate. We come back from a 10-page sprint and realize we haven't eaten since breakfast, 9 hours previous. Or we can't find our flow. Go to the fridge. Snack. Nope, the inspo still isn't there. Scrounge up some chips and guac. Trying to get this character's name right. Could really go for some onion rings, but so not feeling this dude's interest in escargot. It doesn't fit and gross. Well, some chocolate would be tasty though. Something baked with pumpkin. And so on. By the end of our writing session, we've eaten our way through the kitchen but haven't nourished ourselves or our project. Though professionals do say chocolate has some health benefits, and I agree. The solution, don't forget to eat, but don't forget to write either. If I find myself particularly absorbed and I'm not listening to my stomach calling, I set a timer to go off around breakfast, lunch, dinner time. I also keep a water bottle by my side. Refilling it is a good excuse to get up and stretch. In the case of incessant snacking, sometimes I pre-plan what I'm going to eat, each meal and snacks, and when I'm going to eat them, and work it into my schedule so I can stick to my tasks and not find myself procrastinating in front of the refrigerator. Fitness. I exercise because movement is one of the quickest ways I know to boost my mood and get my creative juices flowing. Whether I take a walk, stretch, do yoga, or cardio, I make movement part of my daily writing program because it motivates, stimulates, and keeps my body from aching before or after sitting so long while drafting. After I'd spent one too many nights cursing lower back and neck pain, I decided I wasn't going to let it stop me from doing what I love, so I routinely make my muscles stronger. The solution. Traditional exercise appeals to some, not so much to others, so what I recommend is do what you like. It could be a 3-minute chair stretch between chapters, a walk or hike at dusk after a long stretch of writing is a great excuse to see the sunset, join an adult sports team, go to a yoga class once or twice a week, play with your dog, your kid, your dragon. Whatever you do, move a little or a lot to protect those peaches. Fuel. Sometimes as creatives, we're sucked into our art full on day and night, not coming up for air until we're feeling depleted by the very thing which ordinarily fuels us. It's dangerously easy to become so deeply absorbed in our writing, we start to feel drained, leading to a lack of inspiration or straight up burnout. Don't let what you love get you down. I already mentioned food, but the refueling I mean here has 2 parts. Solution A, connect. Don't forget to unplug, power down, and step away from the keyboard to live outside the awesome world you're creating. Hang out with friends, visit family, call someone you haven't spoken to in a while, read in your hammock. Whatever you do, step away from your work from time to time and charge up with the people and activities that make your spirit soar. Solution B, sleep. It is one of the greatest things we have going, and it's free. When you've been working, living, creating hard, your bones, neurons, partner, coworkers, even the postal carrier will thank you if you get some rest. It's essential. Next time you're reading the same sentence over and over, take a nap or go to sleep early that night. When you sit down on your writing throne, replenished from a solid snooze, you're sure to feel alert and sparking with new ideas and directions. Ergonomics. I like to plop on the couch with my laptop in hand with the best of them, but my neck, shoulders, back, and backside aren't always a fan. If you're predisposed to any muscular or skeletal issues, will be writing for long stretches, or have an ache that just won't quit, see your doctor, but also consider your positioning. Problems. The dog, cat, kid on my legs sprawl. You're stuck here and can't get up, but they're just so gosh darn cute you won't move a muscle, even though your neck is screaming at you. The desk hunch. This one is when we're in the zone and have no idea how we're sitting or breathing until we start to straighten and are stiff from having our shoulders up by our ears. The back attack. This one can happen pretty much anywhere, but it's when we're in a tweaked position that results in a loud snap, crackle, pop when we get up to stand. Obviously, these are made up, but be mindful of the way you're sitting, your arms, wrists, and take care of your body because you need it in good working order and to actually physically write. Posture. I'm not a doctor, so consult yours first, but I've trained myself most of the time to follow the rule of 90s. Feet planted flat on the floor, knees aligned over ankles, sitting tall and forming a 90-degree angle with the hips, spine long, elbows under the shoulders, neck long, monitor at eye level. Note: there are other, more serious states and situations creatives find themselves in, such as depression. If you suspect you or someone you care about is in it deep with their mental or physical health, please seek professional help.